What is ESG?
ESG is going to become effectively a new wokeness credit rating that corporations and eventually people will get.
Is wokeness a word?
Yes. Yeah. It's the
okay. I'm getting all nods. All right. Apparently, I'm not woke.
So ESG, the acronym is environmental, social, governance, if I recall correctly. Anyway, I feel like this is a whole episode, but do a little bit of a dive into this, and it all sounds phenomenal because it's this idea that corporations are going to start being assigned a score based on their good deeds, for lack of a better term. Like, where do they stand on social issues? Where do they stand on environmental issues? And as a result, if you as the consumer want to spend your hard-earned money with a corporation that has a good credit rating for their, wokeness score, and avoid ones that maybe have a lesser.
Yep.
And that all sounds great. And if you go through them, like, how could you not agree with them? Like, promoting environmental sustainability, supporting diversity hires, supporting, non-exploitative labor. All these things sound great.
Yep.
The problem is when you realize that this is effectively a credit rating score, that means based on how you subscribe to a certain belief system or ideology is going to affect your company's ability to do business. And I was getting pitched because now, of course, when something comes like this, someone's like, how can I sell that to people? So I was getting pitched by this consulting firm that's like, we'll help you integrate and raise your ESG score now while it's voluntary, because soon it's going to be mandatory. That you'll have to pay third-party companies to come in and score you so that then consumers can see what your score is. And your score is determined is essentially how much you believe in a number of ideals.
Yep.
And that's fine and dandy while some of them sound nice, but there's just something very tyrannical about having to go along with a belief system, because if you don't, you will be punished financially, your ability to borrow, right? Your ability to get investors. And, it's kind of a reward punishment system based on virtue signaling, which I think is very oppressive. I think it's because then also you have to require your employees to subscribe to these things.
Yeah.
So if you see now, even a really common one is how people sign off on their email signatures. Corporations are starting to require people to use their pronouns.
Yep.
And, using someone's proper pronoun is certainly something I wholeheartedly agree with, but requiring your employee to put their pronoun in their signature because you want to get a higher score to then get better credit rating, and sponsoring certain events and feeling a certain way, for example, petroleum products, or, then you bring in different faiths and their belief systems. And the irony is they say they want a diverse workforce, but it's like, no, you want everyone in the workforce to be the exact same. And again, believing in those things is one thing, right? But being required to believe in them rubs me the wrong way. Yeah. And so if you haven't heard about ESG, you're going to hear a lot about it. Yep. And it is going to start with corporations, and they're going to find a way to leverage it. This is why you'll see a lot of corporations sponsoring events that maybe they hadn't in the past, because it looks good on their brand and gets them a higher score.
That's masked.
And then they will get better borrowing ability based on that, or worse. It's only a matter of time before that trickles down to the individual. And there are already parts of the country where, if you jaywalk, you can get facial recognition, you get a social credit ding, which could affect your ability to borrow in the future.
China.
All of these things, like this, I don't know. I think it's an attack on individual freedoms. And in the pitch that I was given, they even said the purpose of your company, the purpose of a company is no longer decided by the company. Saying that as if it was a good thing, right? Like it's decided by the stakeholders. I mean, the people that invest and the people that buy your products, they get to decide what you as a corporation subscribe to in terms of your beliefs. And I just think
it feels like a movie. I'm trying to think what movie it is, but there's just like everything's so controlled and everything is like set standard, and it ends up going to the point where it's just a few massive corporations that can really meet all of their requirements.
But not only that,
it carte blanches everything. But like you're saying, and you lose your freedoms within that.
And then there's these corporations that then assign these credit ratings. So you have to pay these other corporations to rate you. What if those belief systems change? Like right now,
Who determines what they are?
who determines what they are?
Yeah.
You know, and I go through them like, yeah, these all sound great. You know, but some of them I kind of think, well, that's a bit of a gray area. I don't necessarily believe in that. It's like, no.
Yeah.
If you want the best credit rating, so ESG, man, like, and any of those who you worked in a maybe traditional white collar business structure, you are going to start hearing all about that, and it's going to be sold with roses and sunshine. And isn't this all what we want anyway? But
At first it'll seem
mandating
decent. Yeah.
what you need to believe in and what you need to express and convey and signal out there, and then requiring all your employees to do it on an individual basis, I think is really a slippery slope, man.
Thanks for watching that clip from the Master Keys podcast. Check out that full episode here. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share our podcast.
When I was broke, I had rich habits. When I was broke, I had rich habits.